Hello, space dogs! Alright, I did it. I'm back. I'm twice in 1 week, right? I said I was gonna try and get this moving a little quicker, so go me. Oh boy, good to see you all. Is it locking up a little? Is it locking up a little? I don't know. Is it? Is anybody else having trouble? Let me look on my end. I'm not seeing. Everything is saying it's okay. Everything is saying it's okay. Yeah, it looks okay. You probably heard me repeat again there because I brought up the. Okay, yep, that looks... It looks okay. Maybe reload? Okay, good. I'm sorry, Barricade. I think it might just be you. But, oh, look at that. I kind of wanted to start at 3 today, but then, I quickly realized that wasn't going to happen. And then I was like, I could probably make 3:30, but I was like, nah, let's set it for 4. And I did. I'm glad because I made it just in time for 4. Actually, though, at 3:51, or well, about 3:51 or so, I was like, You know what I think I have? I think I have an Exceed poster, and so I went looking for it, and I found it, and actually it was a little bit earlier than 351, right? But I found the poster, and I thought, ooh, I should put it in the frame because it was rolled up in a tube, so it was all rolly, and I thought, oh, I should put it in the frame. So I pulled down the one that was over on this wall over here, and I stuck it in here, and I was like, cool, now what? Well, actually, I looked at the clock, and it was like 3:51, and I was like, oh, I have enough time to put it in this frame, and I did, barely. You know, I like got it in there, and then it was time to roll. So, hooray! There we go. I actually have like game appropriate merch this time. So I should probably put it here. That hanger's a bit rough, or a bit harder though to deal with. So I'm just gonna put it back where this one was. Even though it's kind of dark there. But how does that look? It's decent. I should probably switch it, shouldn't I? If I was smart. If I was a smart person, I would switch it. That's hard. I'm not going to do it right now. The only reason is because this one hangs from the corners, and this one hangs from the center, so I would have to change my whole little hangy dealy. So, and that seems like a waste of time on stream anyway. Anyway. So, hello to everyone. I saw several people mentioning Dignity. Yep. This is where we get Dignity. Oh boy. Can I keep my dignity by not attempting the nightmare? I could try and do what I did with Get the Party Started, and just like tap enough steps to just keep it rolling, but not actually play it, because there's even in my prime. I know we're not up to prime yet. This is only Exceed, Brian. I'm funny. Anyway, even like when I was playing Pump regularly and at like the peak of my abilities, I could not do Dignity. I always remember Dignity was like the song that people threw at each other at tournaments, because it was like there's the people who could do Dignity, all three of them, and then everybody else. So like if you were one of the ones that could do it, it was like that was a guaranteed win. Yeah, in your column. And so usually things were best out of 3, so that was at least you knew you had that one in the bag. And then good luck with whatever the other 2 songs are going to be. But let's see. Yeah, I think Canon D is Exceed 2 also. I don't think that's in here. I haven't seen it come up in the demo at least. So I'm going to say probably not yet. But I'm excited. I'm excited about this one because I know I've said this a few times in previous streams, but we're getting to the point where this is the Pump that I know well. Everything that we've played before this, at least in this series, are all either unfamiliar to me, or it was literally the first time I'd ever played it. More often the latter, actually. Just quick recap, like the very first Pump I ever played was the premiere, but I only played it like one time, or I mean, I may have played it more than once, but I only ever saw it one time on a trip to Hawaii, of all places. And then there was an arcade south of me, about an hour and a half away, that got Exceed. So this game, and I went down there a couple of times to play it. And then there was an arcade near me that got Exceed 2. So I think by the time I played Exceed 2 was already out. So Exceed 2 is the one that is the game where I started playing regularly, like weekly, basically, or more often, even. And it was the current game at the time. So that's where I, really came into my own with Pump. But Exceed is pretty similar, at least in my recollection. A little buggier, but the look and feel of it is quite similar to Exceed 2. Or I guess I should say Exceed 2 is quite similar to Exceed. I just have a couple of thoughts at the outset here of Exceed. I had to get the MK5 out, which my friend Shane was nice enough to give me his after he was done with it. This was years ago. He just gifted it to me as a birthday present. I don't even know how long ago that's been. It might have been 10 years ago already at this point. Interestingly, this will probably be the only game that I play on the MK5 because I believe Prex 3 had an MK5 build. I didn't play that one. I played the MK3 build on stream last time. But then, to my understanding, I think Exceed is the only one that you basically need the MK5 for. It doesn't play on the MK3, and I don't believe it will play on the MK6 unmodified. I could be wrong about that, but I know for sure that my copy of Exceed 2 is on the MK6, is for the MK6 hardware. So I'll probably swap the MK5 out after this stream, and then we'll run the 6 for the next, 2 or 3 streams, and then we get to MK9, and that will take us through to the end, basically. But one thing that I noticed as I was hooking up the system, I wish I had another MK5 that I could show you, but maybe on the next stream I'll pull it out. But let me grab the 3. Alright, so here is the MK3. This is what's been running in the cabinet the last however many streams I've done. Because this covers first dance floor all the way up through Prex 3. And you'll note that, you've got all the interface stuff to connect to the cabinet over on this side. And then there's a CD-ROM drive here that you put the CD into. What I'm noticing when I was putting the MK5 in that I wished that this stupid thing had, maybe it did, and maybe just mine is deficient in this regard, but there's a little security chip. Here, I'll show you. Ugh. So, for instance, here is my copy of the Prex. So you've got the CD-ROM inside, and that goes in the CD-ROM drive, and then you've got this little security module dealy guy. I guess I can take it out of this tiny little bag. I don't even know why they put them in this. Why is it hard? So you got this little guy, and there's a little plug on the back right there. And on the MK3, this plugs onto a board inside the unit itself. So you have to like take the lid off of the thing and plug it in, and take the old one out and plug this in. And I'm like, why? Like, who designed this? Because like the CD-ROM, obviously, it has a little hole on the outside, so you just push the button, the tray comes out, you swap the drive, or swap the disc, and you're done. But then you got to open the whole damn thing to plug this stupid thing in. I'm like, and what I noticed is when I put the MK5 in, which, like I said, it's in the machine now, so I can't like show it to you, and I don't have another one, but hopefully, maybe if I remember on the next stream, I'll show you real quick. They've brought the port for this security module to the outside, so you could, just swap the disc, and then swap the little security chip, and you're good. Like, you don't have to open the stupid thing up. Plus, opening it up inside the cabinet is kind of a pain. I guess you could do it, but it would be hard. So you end up having to, like remove the whole stinking thing from the cabinet to, swap from one game to another. Like, guys, why'd you make it hard? And then they made it easier for the MK5, except that now the MK5 doesn't use a CD-ROM anymore, it uses a hard drive. So you actually do have to open it up to swap the hard drive, because they didn't put it in like a caddy or anything like that. I mean, it's just connected like a normal PC hard drive. So you have to open the lid and, fish it out of there and unplug the cables, and then, put the new one in and plug the cables back in. So it's like they realized, oh yeah, we kind of screwed this up with the MK3 and made it hard to change games, to do upgrades. So let's make it easier, except then it's not easier. I believe, like I said, I think that Prex 3 actually does have an MK5 build that I believe still is CD-ROM based. And so on the MK5, there is a little plate. On mine, it's a blank plate, but you can tell that that's where a CD-ROM drive would go if it had one. So I guess if the game had continued to be released on CD, or I guess if maybe they switched to DVD or something like that for some more storage, with the MK5 design, it would have been easier to swap games. But it's like they took one step forward and then immediately took one step back, and so it's not really any easier at all. Beginning with Exceed 2, though, they just use a USB dongle, so no more of this little chip guy. You just plug something into the USB. Now, again, it's still a hard drive, so you still have to open the lid and put the new hard drive in, but it is what it is. Konami was nice on a lot of their games. They, for a while, they were using a whole little dock system where you could just pull out this tray and you'd put the you know, you'd take the old hard drive out and put the new hard drive in, and then you'd slide the tray back in. So you wouldn't have to like open the whole unit or take it out of the machine. Then they went from that, and now they're just, you know, now there's like a section on the lid that comes out that the hard drive is attached to. So at any rate, they make it a little bit easier, but at least I don't know about after the MK9, but to my knowledge, Andamiro never got there. They just were like, open it, deal with it. I'm like, all right. At least on the 9, if I recall, and I think the 6, there's only 2 screws to pop the lid off, and you can do that in the machine, and it's not that bad, but still, not as easy as it could have been. All right, let me move this out of the way. Close this door over here. All right. Alright, let me kind of catch up with the chat a little bit here. When will we do Exceed PS2? I still don't have an interface between the cabinet and anything other than the official hardware. So I actually do have Exceed PS2, but I don't have any way to connect it to the cabinet currently. So I'm probably not going to do that unless I decide to, you know, build something. But it's not in my plan right now. I wish if I had the old pad that came with it, I would try that, but I only have the game, so I could play it on gamepad, but God, it's terrible. All right. Anyhow, so I am going to do the same thing with this game that I have been doing up to this point, and that is play all the new songs, and then we'll see where we're at on time. And if I... loading. And if I've got some time, then maybe we'll, you know, poke around at some of the special features, and if anybody has any requests, I might take them at that point too. But let me see. I was looking earlier, and it looks like there's like 20-something new songs. 21 or 20. It was in the 20s. It wasn't a lot. So we're up to the A's now. So A... okay, I guess it's 27. Although 2 of them are old songs, except now in Spanish. So... yeah. Using a controller for pump is sort of unplayable. You know, just the layout of the buttons, like, doesn't really... like, DDR lends itself really well.